Here's why I showed up late on purpose. Hi, my name is Rémi Boudreau. I'm a licensed painter, color consultant, owner of Expressions Painting, and founder of Expressions Painting University. Back in 2009, I was managing a company where we had a fair-sized crew between 15 to 18 at the time, and it had come to my attention that basically a lot of the clients were calling between 8:05 and 8:10 in the morning asking if the painters were going to be showing up that day. So you see, we had at the time multiple crews. We had a receptionist and a production manager, and basically there was a lot of construction in our city at the time, and it often caused small delays, which technically, like where you're a painter and you're on your way to the job, you know it's just a little traffic delay. It may not seem like a big deal to the painter because you know you're on your way. But from the client's perspective, we noticed that it was causing them to have, like, did you guys forget? Like, did we mix up the dates? And etc. So what I did is we were meeting each week at that time. We were doing this to kind of bond the team and make sure everyone had a chance to voice concerns or systems or improvements of any kind that we could do. And basically, we used to meet at 3:30 every week. But for this particular week, I told everyone there was a special training was going to require more time, and that I made a point to make sure that everyone showed up at 3 p.m. And I made an emphasis on don't be late, right? So everybody did exactly as I was hoping. Everybody showed up on time except for me. I intentionally waited around 2-3 minutes away from the office, and then I was just waiting to see their reaction. And here's what happened. About a minute or two into it, someone texted me like something like, are you close by? Or everybody's here? Or did you forget that you had asked us to come in earlier? And then the text started the messages started to kind of change. I could see the roller coaster of emotions. At first it was just checking, make sure I didn't forget. Then how far away are you? And then, well, what's going on, Remy? Are you okay? And then, or maybe something like, well, everybody's here. Everybody took off work earlier. Where the heck are you, right? So frustration, nervousness, and then wondering if maybe I was in a car accident or something like that. Because the reality is people know me that I'm very punctual. If I say a time, I'm there on time because that's what people know me for, right? So in this instance, my staff was kind of worried at some point and angry even because they made special arrangements, right? So basically my whole experience with this is my point with this training exercise is I ended up showing up on, not on time, but 25 minutes late on time, which would have been technically about 5 minutes earlier compared to what we were normally supposed to do, right? But what I did is I just walked into our training room, everybody was there. I just made as if nothing had happened. I just started to talk to the staff, and then I could just see them kind of looking around. What the heck? Until someone finally said, where were you? Right? And then they interrupted. I said, oh, interesting. Right? So, and then we started to talk about it. And once they started to notice that this had been intentional, the whole point of this was to make them feel the uncertainty of how it is from the receiving end when someone shows up late. So for a homeowner, if the painter is not there at the time that was discussed, in an industry where it's really not uncommon to have people not show up or be late, it puts that client, that homeowner, in a situation of, did I mess up the date? Are they going to show up on time? Or here we go again, the same thing that happened to my friend. The painter said they'd be here, right? It's all a roller coaster of emotion that you really don't want your clients to go through, because then it's a bad first impression that kind of sets a negative tone for the rest of the paint job, right? So at that meeting, we made a point to say, if for whatever reason we're even going to be just a minute late, we're going to call the client 5-10 minutes before to let them know, listen, I'm just caught up in traffic right now. I'm on my way, just wanted to let you know. Or someone would maybe text the office and the office will let the client know. Regardless of how it gets done, we had made a plan to communicate to the clients that we were on our way, but would be a few minutes late. And in a lot of cases, this ended up being or turning something that could have been a negative into a positive, because they was so surprised to see that someone would take the time or the care to call to let them know they'd be 5 minutes late. So what could have started off things negatively could oftentimes be the opposite, where it creates a first great experience or a first impression of professionalism and care. Are you going to do the same? Are you currently letting your clients know? If you're not, I would definitely encourage that you start doing so. I think you'll see that the whole experience will end up being so much better for everyone, because I want to remind you what you know. You're in the car, you're driving, you know you're just late for whatever reason. You're receiving, on the receiving end, your clients, they do not have all that information. So they do not know. So it's good to let them know to make sure that the first impression is a good one. If you'd like more tips and tricks like these, be sure to sign up for our weekly tips and tricks at expressionspaintinguniversity.com. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you again next week.